Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Age of Light. Hi, I'm Amanda, and I am the Oracle of 12. And on this channel, I support planetary ascension by channeling higher guidance and cosmic wisdom directly from the Hall of Records. And I do that to awaken your soul's truth and the dormant multidimensional technology that we all have within us. All of the information and energies that I share with you today are streamed directly from Source, God, Creator, or whatever words you use for your higher power. And it is absolutely my pleasure to bring you the multidimensional tools, trainings, courses, and channeled guidance to support you in anything that helps you to fully embrace and embody your divine self. Okay, so we have so much going on this week. There's a lot to share. So let's go ahead and jump in. And so my guides are sharing with me that we are in the middle of a Trinity reset. And of course, that includes the eclipse, the equinox, and all of the Virgo energies that are intertwined with all of it. So keep in mind that the energies of this massive reset will be with us until February of next year, but are most intense through the rest of this month. And also I'm feeling into the middle of October. It's the second eclipse. We did have another eclipse a few weeks ago that was the full moon lunar eclipse. And this is the second one with a partial solar eclipse and new moon in Virgo. It's the second Virgo new moon in a row. We had one in August and we had it again in September, which is really rare. So there is so much energy that's really propelling us forward at this time. And we're going to get into a lot of that. But before we do, I want to give a little backstory as to why these energies are so loud and very transformative right now, that we're this energy that we're sitting in and moving through. Because to really understand it, we have to know why it's happening, right? And plus also we want to be able to take advantage of how to bring in more of our light to anchor into the new earth timelines. Okay, so the backstory it involves the 999 portal. And that recently transpired on September 9th, of course, right? 9/9. And it was a really profound portal as well. And it's actually still active because that portal is what we're doing, discussing everything that's coming in today. So this year, the portal granted you the ability to stream your higher self, your soul essence, from your soul star chakra. Your soul star chakra is located about 7 or 8 inches above your head, and it holds this bowl of all of your most luminous self in this gorgeous golden bowl. And that energy trickles in through your center column into your crown and through your center column whenever space is made available for it. So every time you're dropping density and you're releasing parts of yourself or integrating that into wholeness, you make space for more of your divine self and you bring more of that through. That's the purpose of these solar activity that we're having. So solar flares and coronal holes, streams that are coming through and bringing in photonic light through the central sun that filters through that central column. So that light is blasting out of us any toxic thoughts, feelings, and also physical toxins. It is moving that through us to allow more of our divine essence to come through. So what's happening is that energy was energized on the 8/8 portal. And now on the 9/9 portal, it is basically bringing that golden essence, your higher self energy, through your center column, all the way to the bottom of your feet, out your feet, and into your earth star chakra, which is about 7 or 8 inches below your feet. And it's kind of like two landing plates, right? That you're kind of plugged into. So as it plugs into the Earth Star chakra, it then moves into the earth and into the center of the earth to the crystal core, to the heart of Gaia. And so we're going to come back to how that's supporting planetary ascension and stabilizing the earth grid as well. So for right now, let's stick with this part. So essentially what you're doing is bringing your heaven to earth. Okay. And so you're planting your unique light signature into the planetary grid, into the diamondized ley lines or crystal ley lines. And it's allowing you to experience this higher, more divine aspected self. Okay. And all that you can bring forward and implant and plant as a seed in your Earth Star chakra and into this new golden earth potential that we're all co-creating together, the more like frequencies to that divine self will come towards you to manifest into reality, right? So it's like your unlimited credit card from heaven, bringing in all of the good stuff, right? And that's what we want on an individual basis, right? So that's what the 999 portal was actually bringing forward for each of us. And then in a collective energy as well. So, okay, so how are we manifesting into form to be enjoyed in this new planetary grid and this new golden earth? How are we going to be able to manifest all of that into form? So it happens on two levels. The first level is through the individual. Everything always starts with the self, right? No matter what it is, we have to turn inward and to see where we are with what is on the outside. Okay, because we're playing a role in creating it. So at the individual level, we have a heart field. So through our heart chakra and through the physical heart, because it's electric and we are electromagnetic, we have a field around our body. That field has both a physical component because it can be measured and is measurable by science up to 9 to 15 feet. But actually, it is that quantum aspect of us that is connected into the unified field of all creation. And that field is how we are all united together. Plants, animals, the earth, all humans, all souls here embodied on the planet. So we're all connected, and not just here, it extends outwardly, but let's just keep it on the planet for right now, right? So that field is something that we can manage. And in that field is how we manifest our reality. So let's kind of unpack that a little bit. Because it's going to be important. So just hold on to what we're talking about, and then we'll be able to apply it as we move forward and talk about the rest of everything else that's happening with the equinox and eclipse, etc. Okay, so I want to make sure I present this to you right. Okay, so through your heart field, we each input and share our current feelings and thoughts in this energy field that surrounds us. So no matter what you're thinking or feeling, it's in your energy field. And it's basically like your calling card. It goes ahead of you, and everybody is already receiving it before you even get there. Okay. So in that field, it's received by the universe as quantum light codes or a quantum light wish list, right? And so you're basically placing an order with the universe as to what you would like to experience in this physical form right now, based on what you're thinking and how you feel. Okay, so you can see this is a big deal. In addition to that, In addition to placing that order with the universe, you're also then calling forward the quantum aspect of you that aligns to that same energy signature. All of this happens at the speed of light, right? So you're going to embody the energetic match to what you're thinking and what you're feeling at the speed of light. So that quantum version of us is constantly changing, and it happens with every subtle shift of what you think and feel, right? So I'm sure you can get the idea now that being able to maintain a steady, very coherent state of feeling and thinking, and not being influenced by what's around you, not being pulled off center by watching the news or scrolling social media or having explosive conversations or whatever it may be. It is up to us individually to manage our field so that we're not influenced with emotions that take our frequency into a place that we don't want to go, right? We need to keep it at a steady, coherent course, right? So that we can maintain our frequency signature and be more mindful of what we're putting into this new earth grid. Okay, so I'm going to go into the second part of this in a second, but what the galactics are sharing with me, the Galactic Federation is sharing, is that this is a very pivotal time to be cognizant of what you are feeling and thinking, because it's going to connect you to the timeline that corresponds with that. And so this is a corridor of time that we really want to get hyper focused on embodying as much light as we can by dropping as much density as we are able to. Okay, so we're going to get into what they said specifically about it, but let's get back to the planetary grid and this planetary ascension and how we're all going to manifest this. Okay, so we know that individually how we're impacting the field. Collectively, we're doing that because on a collective level, we're all experiencing what we're feeling and thinking, and we're resonating a frequency, and that's manifesting that quantum version of us, right? Now, if you take that by 8 billion people and everybody experiencing their own individual uniqueness of what they think and feel, they begin to resonate with other energies around them. And it can be individuals, so it can be relationships, workships, situationships. And then you move into groups, organizations, and they begin to magnetize towards these pools of collective energies or collective consciousness fields. Okay, so these fields begin to unite until we're left with dominant streams of energy or consciousness. Okay, it's kind of like magnets, how you can put, or actually, if you think about an etch-a-sketch, right? You have one stream of consciousness, and that would be your pen, because it's only going to pick up what it is magnetically aligned to. So as you're drawing, you're going to pull in your masterpiece in that magnetic field that's in the etch-a-sketch of all those pieces of magnet that come together to create and manifest what it is that you are creating and drawing with your one signature, your energy signature, and your frequency of the pen. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're all manifesting our own image, our own reality. But when we collectively begin to come together with the same aligned frequencies, we create these massive pools of consciousness, right? So this is what they're talking about with collective consciousness. Okay, so let's think about this for a minute. How do we create the dominant timeline then, right? We people talk about, oh, the world is being split into two dominant timelines. Well, actually, I believe there's three going on, and maybe, yeah, three. And one is usually the most dominant. I won't get into those. But so, how do we create it, though? How can you intentionally be a part of manifesting a dominant timeline? It's by first managing your own energy body, right, in your own field. And then as you start coming together with these groups and organizations to these collectives, they become dominant rivers of consciousness, streams of consciousness. And so let's say these are 1 and 2 dominant timelines. And there's always this interplay and battle against opposite polarities. Let's say light and dark. You could also say up and down or masculine, feminine. It doesn't matter. Everything is a polarity. So we have these two polarities that are going to finally all filter together into these two streams of consciousness. And based on which is dominant, which reaches critical mass and creates that dominant position, is the timeline that will anchor. And the Galactic Federation is working to clear out old timeline manipulations, anything that was shifting or changing or holding large bodies of collective consciousness in a field of dense energies that really were against their will, based on promoting maybe false narratives. Okay, so you can see how this starts to interplay, right? But the idea is to know that you are responsible for the collective timeline, and which timeline you're able to be on first by yourself, through yourself, and for yourself as your own divine creator. Okay, so the more that you do for yourself to express more of your divine potential will allow you to hold more light and anchor that for the collective of your choosing, right? So that dominant energy river flow. Okay, so I'm sharing all of this with you because it's very relevant to the unfolding story of the week ahead. So let's start unpacking it because it's a lot. And I want to make sure that I'm able to bring it all together for you. Okay, so looking at the slide deck here, we have that we are in the Trinity reset. Okay, we know it's the convergence of this energy, and it is this Trinity, and everything is a Trinity in creation as well. So I could go into a whole story about that, but I don't want to get sidetracked. The councils of light are calling this supercharged portal the gate of sacred order and planetary rebalancing. So the sacred part is that part of you that is embodying your divine self, awakening your soul technology. And the planetary rebalancing is us bringing that column of light through us, bringing our heaven to earth, which we talked about earlier, and anchoring it into the heart of Gaia. So that column of light becomes a solid core of transferred diamond light frequencies from the divine to the center of earth into the crystalline grid and core. Okay. So we talked a lot about this, the 999 portal, and how it's related to the 3 signatures, the Virgo new moon, which is the second one, and the eclipse. Okay, so the solar eclipse is initiating personal and planetary shadow integration. So this new moon of Virgo is having you take a detailed look at your 2 opposite polarities, the light and the shadow side. So the dark night of the soul, or your shadow, is not meant to be something that you're just going to push away from you. It's meant to be integrated within you. So it's taking the dark and the light and being able to understand that together, it creates you. It's the manifestation of form in its most beautiful form, which is you. The autumn equinox holds the balance point of light and dark, and activates planetary reset grids, right? So it's the same thing that the planet is moving through, because we are a micro of the macro. And the macro is that the planet is experiencing its light and dark self and in its fullness through the autumn equinox. And then we throw in the Virgo frequency, right? So it restores purity. It brings divine order into balance. And then it also creates that crystalline discernment in the body temple and in the earth body. So just like we keep talking about the diamond crystal ley lines of earth, we also have our own inner light technology. So we have our soul technology, and with that is this light cathedral and architecture that is being created throughout our entire physical form. We're moving from carbon-based to crystalline-based. So the councils are saying the next era of embodiment is beginning with this Trinity, with this light braid. So there is a breathing technique that we can use that will braid in those higher aspects of your divine self into the earth. And that's what they're talking about with this braid. But the new era, and to me, this is the birthing of the age of light. So that is the next embodiment for all of us, is we move more into our crystalline structure, as is the earth, and become this next level human. So the Galactic Federation, their theme that they gave me was timeline stabilization and leadership emergence. So some of their key directives that they shared is activating the crystalline core link, and that's the God cell in Earth's diamond heart. That is actually that column of light that you are bringing through you. You are activating your natural killer cells, which are your God cells, and they will become the conductor of your orchestra within your body, of that light cathedral that's being built within you. And it's the same for Earth. It's activating the Earth's inner crystal cathedral. And that's happening by bringing all of that light straight into Earth's diamond core. They're asking for the boots on the ground. They want to start implementing project-based light work. All of you guys who have these, ideas about retreat centers and educational hubs and being stewards of the land and starting to work more closely with the land, the money is going to be coming available for you. This is what they're sharing with me. They're clearing the way for that. They're focused on microcosmic coherence. That's our biofield regulation, circadian rhythm, nervous system repair. And so there are some frequencies that are being projected globally and cosmically, and that are impacting our energy fields and our biofields and our light bodies. So the Galactic Federation is working to remove that. And they're also clearing timelines from the Draco and Orion wars. So there's 2 huge meteor showers coming up, and they're listed here. Cosmic meteor showers that are both peaking in October, both in the Orion belt and the Draco. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? The Draco, I get all excited. Anyways, it's really cool because what's happening is it's clearing the imprint of those wars that occurred off planet. And it's very similar to the clearing of the Atlantean wars that happened on this planet and the timelines, right? So remember I was talking about macro to micro, right? So we're micro, and then macro to us would be Earth, and macro to Earth would be then our galaxy, because every planet is going through this ascension process in our solar system, as is our entire galaxy. So that's just one example. And here are the meteor showers that we were just talking about. The Draco meteor shower is peaking on the 8th or 9th of October. And then the Orion is peaking somewhere, I believe, around October 22nd and 21st. It started earlier. So you're also able to see those with telescopes. And I'm also being told that there's some other planetary alignments that are happening this week. Something with Saturn, being able to see Saturn and its rings, which doesn't happen very often, I don't think. And so that's something that also is going to be coming into view for us. So again, right, peaking on October 21st and 22nd, the Orion meteor shower. And so here is the leadership mirror that the Galactic Federation is asking you to hold up. What energetic identity are you dissolving? And what new archetype or role is arising within you? We all have a various level of archetype. So maybe you are somebody who is an overgiver, or somebody who is a healer, or somebody who is the magician. Maybe you're starting to embody something different now. Maybe you're wanting to embody the teacher, or the oracle, whatever it is. So it is about acting as if, right? So whichever it is that you're letting it dissolve, that part of you that it's dissolving, let it happen. So that could be showing up, meaning it could be showing up in your reality as relationships that are dissolving, leaving a job behind that no longer aligns with you, leaving a property or house, selling your car, because a car is an expression of your spiritual vehicle, right? So there's a lot of different ways in which those identities are dissolving and how they relate to what may be happening physically in your reality. Understanding that you are magnetizing, remember, through your frequency, your thoughts and feelings, what you want to experience. So when things start to break apart and fall away, and you know they're meant to, the best thing that you can do is find feelings and thoughts that align to this arising archetype that you're wanting to experience. And how do you do that? You start acting the part, playing the part, taking some sort of action to make it embedded into your field and in your limbic system, because action is connected to your limbic system, which are deep neuro switches, signaling your body that you're serious about what's about to happen, right? So it's really important to take some sort of action. Doesn't have to be anything major. You can even like create an outline of what it is that you want to be doing next, right? So here's the channeled message that I received from the Galactic Federation. They said this eclipse is energetically keyed to reveal and remove what is no longer structurally supportive. It strips false light, clears astral overlays, and restores organic soul-sourced leadership. This is a call for grid walkers, healers, and system architects to step forward with structure and clarity. Earth is requesting committed vessels. So I have been engaged in grid work and supporting the Earth through transition since, I don't know, 2008. And the water is really calling to me now. The portals of water that are going to be, and already are, arising from these deep level aquifers, holding plasmic diamond light, God-coded water. And so the Earth may start asking you to support, and you'll know very clearly what that is. And I'm also going to be offering a course for grid workers and light keepers. If you're called to work with the Earth, then you can get in touch with me and I'll talk with you about it. So the next community, and again, we have 3 communities that are working with these energies. We have the Inner Earth Alliance, which are new. We have the Galactic Federation, and then we are going to talk with the Councils of Light. Now, I wouldn't say they're new. They just haven't been, they have not been as communicative with me as the Galactic Federation has. So they are the gatekeepers of the Golden Order. The Golden Order meaning the golden earth that we are creating. They maintain sacred sites, and they're emphasizing that they're going to be activating all of these sacred sites. There are new ones. So they're saying Mount Shasta, the Florida aquifers, and the Azores, and there will be new sacred sites that are going to be unveiling themselves to you, whether from deep parts of the ocean or in lakes or streams or rivers or under in caves or mountains, if they open, there's going to be a lot of earth movement that allows this process to happen. Let's see. They are bringing together the new aquifers, and I want to make sure we get all of this. The crystalline memory chambers are going to be opened beneath certain nodal points. So those memory chambers are, it's like an energetic opening. It would be as if you went to the acupuncturist and they placed a needle on a nodal point on your body, and it opens that channel to allow that energy to open up and flow out, right? So that's what they're discussing here, is that, guess what? Who is the acupuncture needle? It's you, because you're holding that light that is activating that nodal point. So if you're called to certain places, you may be activating a node, which will allow the release of energy. And that energy, when released, will be translated to you. So it might bring back divine memories of different places that you've lived on this earth and participated in ancient wisdom keeping or temple keeper or something like that. Those aligned with Earth's heart line will receive new land instructions. So that heart line, is that what I was talking about when it comes straight through your center column of light, out your feet, or star chakra, into the heart of Mother Earth, and that column of light is the heart line. They're also talking about the fact that they will be minimizing as much as possible bigger levels of destruction as we continue to have tectonic plate shifts, volcanic activity, venting from the ocean floor of heat that is moving, and gases that are escaping from the Earth crust, with the gamma rays that are being brought into our planet from a weakened electromagnetic field of Earth. So there's a lot there. They have a lot that they are in charge of. And so here is the channeled message, which was really interesting when they came through to give me this message from the Inner Earth Alliance and their own councils. One of the things I thought was really amazing about this experience is, even though I have connected with Inner Earth, like the root races and the keepers of time, and different ley lines hold different energetic signatures. So when you're doing any kind of energy work with the earth, you first want to connect into the beings and the elementals that are protecting or guiding or a part of that land. So when the Inner Earth Alliance came to me and were talking with me, they shared this message. We have waited for the outer world to reach the frequency required for inner world cooperation. Now the threshold is open. The equinox and eclipse corridor awakens the sacred contracts between the surface walkers and Earth's crystalline cathedral network. So the surface walkers are us. And so they are looking for, again, those vessels to hold the light for them and to bring it in and to share it at certain places around the earth. You may be doing this whether you know it or not, because you may be called to travel with work or for pleasure. And when you're called to certain locations, you're streaming and bringing that earth that light through you and working with the earth. Sometimes we do it consciously, sometimes we do it unconsciously. But what they're saying is that there will be more individuals who are seeking that conscious role in working with the earth. In addition to that, they shared with me that so everything has a polarity, right? The Galactic Federation is the positive or cosmic polarity, and the Inner Earth Alliance is the negative or masculine or earth-based equivalent to the Galactic Federation. So I found that fascinating. It didn't really dawn on me that there was these two levels of authority, divine authority or cosmic authority or inner earth authority, that were mirroring each other. And I think it's because the program that I'm offering now, this quantum healing program that I've been putting together for almost 20 years, is ready because it is designed for the age of light. And what it works with is the polarities of each of our 12 chakras, which would be 24 chakras, right? And they go into the earth and into the cosmos. And at the apex, as you bring them together, that's the 12 gateways. They're portals of transformation where all of this energy is collapsed and integrated back into the self. So that's the healing modality. And it really aligns with this information that came through from the Inner Earth Councils and the Inner Earth Alliance. So I think that's pretty amazing. I'm going to apologize. I know I sound really nasally. I've been sick for a week and a half, and I'm sure that it's because I've been moving through this purity process that we're all moving through to release heavy, dense energy that no longer needs to be there so that we can bring in more of our luminous self, right? And just like I'm telling you, that's what I'm going through. Okay, so now we move into the third part of this Trinity, which is the information that was shared with me from the Councils of Light and the Council of 12. And this is the group, the Council of 12 and Ameria, that I regularly channel and that have been with me all of my life. I have always received messages from the Council of 12, the Council of 12, and specifically from Ameria, which I now realize is an aspect of my higher self. So now we move into the Council of Light and the Council of 12. So their theme that they gave me is purification of command codes, stewardship of the sacred. So remember how I was telling you everything in the beginning was relative to the channeling that came through from these three divine orchestrated groups. Okay. So it's going to be really clear now. So what they had to say, their advice to be able to manage the times that we are now entering is to cleanse, refine, and clarify. To clear away any clutter, any confusion, any disharmony that is keeping you from becoming crystal clear. Sorry about that. I just had a hair go in my eye. It's because that is creating any distortion about you becoming crystal clear about that free flowing frequency, about being able to maintain and hold that highest frequency for yourself so that you then can integrate into this higher timeline. That's what they're suggesting, is to cleanse, refine, clarify, and to rid yourself of any clutter. That could be physical. I mean, if your house is, if your house is a mess, if your room is a mess, if your office or your desk is a mess, your car, they're saying clean it up, allow the energy to be unimpeded, allowing all of that high frequency to move through you, because that frequency is what will clear out anything else on the interior part of you that then ripples out to all 12 dimensions of you. Anything else that can shake loose and move out of you, right? They're keywords of a lot of the channeling that they've been giving me over this month, and a lot of the understanding that they've been passing on to me about the times that we're moving into. The keywords are God, cell, ignition, temple, timeline, rebirthing, soul contracts, realigning for service and not for karmic reasons, not through obligation, not through suffering, not through the lack of knowledge of the divine essence that you hold within you. Purification of offerings. And this was something that has been really given to me several times in several different ways. So it's a powerful time to redefine how you wish to offer yourself for the collective and for this next level of from service to self for service to everyone, service to humanity, service to others. How do you want to build that sacred business model? What's going to support you? What is going to feel like a fair energy exchange? How are you feeling about it? Does it make you feel excited, joyous, exuberant? Are you ready to get out there and share your gifts and to take part of that expansiveness? Or is it something that is making you feel caged in, um, limited, and maybe outworn? Maybe it's some information that you have been working with for a long time and you're ready for something different. So being mindful of how you think and feel about what you're giving in the world, especially if it has to do with your divine service, it's really important, because it goes back to what we talked about in the very beginning. That is what is going to bring in a quantum aspect of you that's going to get locked in. And if you're ready to move beyond that, you need to push through it. Push through it. Break through whatever it is that you've got to do to bring in more of your own light. Do that, because then you can connect into this higher aspect of you, and you can lock into another timeline that's going to support you in that. And you've worked so hard to get here. At the last minute, at this apex that we're in, don't fall back. Don't settle in doing the role or playing the role or being in that archetype that you've outgrown. And you know what that is. I know you do. Just like I know what mine is. We all do. It's that we kind of will create a story around how to stay safe in this limited role. Move beyond that, because you've worked too hard to get here. And I'd love to see you be able to move beyond. So the next thing that we're going to be moving into then, okay, because here is a transmission that was channeled from the Council of 12. The Virgo new moon solar eclipse is more than a gateway. It's a moment of command transfer. Souls who have completed cycles of healing and purification are now being offered the keys of stewardship over their divine templates. And so what this means is you're being given the authority to be your divine self, to co-create with God, creator, source, the universe, as a creator, embodied in the physical here on earth, to enjoy the pleasures and the experiences of being physical, while knowing and understanding, completely removed from the veil of separation, that you are a divine being of light, that you hold inner technology and divine creator abilities that far surpass anything that can be manufactured or created in physical form outside of your own divine essence. It is reuniting you with all of that golden flow of truth. That's what I'm hearing. It is a golden flow of truth that will realign you to your divine aspect and anchor you in lockstep into this new architecture that is being created for you through the councils of light, through the intergalactic, through the inner alliance of Earth and the Galactic Federation. Every being of light that is in service to Source, divine creator, is flooding this planet, the atmosphere, the heavens, and every dimensional field, in every quantum position, to support you in your mission of personal ascension and resurrection into your divine form. Please take advantage of that. Ask for support. Call in your spirit guides. You have so many teams working with you. So it's all available for us now. Okay, so the Councils of 12, their transmission, and then we move into this. Okay, so going back to what we discussed earlier, creating that crystalline architecture that's within us that will hold all of that very fast quantum frequency energy and versions of us that are moving in and out, bringing in higher aspects of ourselves, higher archetypes and forms of our inner divinity. So when it becomes your dominant biology, your God cell is activated, and it's activated from all of the solar exchange. We talked about that earlier. And the God cell is actually called, to us, we know it as our natural killer cell. And it is awakening and becoming the conductor of our orchestra, of all of this crystalline architecture being built. The network holds the resonance of peace and clarity and divine identity. So no matter what is happening outside of you, it doesn't change because it is the truth. And it's always what we're meaning when we or other people say, remember your truth. Your truth cannot be taken away from you because it's known. And when you know something, you can't unknow it. It's embedded. Just like it used to be in the old survival mechanism, it is going to be embedded in this crystalline matrix of truth for you, that your divine identity cannot be taken away. And it will continue to manifest and create in these higher timelines once you're anchored into that. And that's when your crystalline dominant, crystalline architecture becomes your dominant biology. Before that, the prominent biology is controlled through your hormones, and that is histamines and neurotransmitters and how you think and feel, creating dopamine and serotonin, and your cortisol reacting from fear. So all of those biological changes that were very physical from survival in your autonomic nervous system being triggered into its survival mechanism. So when you move outside of that and you manage your biology through managing your thoughts and emotions, it gives you the opportunity to start becoming more crystalline dominant in your biology. Then you're the eye of the storm rather than being pulled around by everybody else's thoughts and feelings and emotion. Especially if you're empathic, it's really challenging to create those energetic boundaries. But once you get to a certain point and you're anchoring into this higher dominant biology, it can't shake you anymore. So it's all the more reason to do your very best to bring in that energy and hold it. Okay, so we're moving through it. We're almost ready here, guys. So if you feel like your body's breaking down and building up at the same time, you're right. And the body's preparing to embrace the higher self. And it begins to undergo these massive fluctuations that you might be feeling. Feels like a tug of war. Sometimes it feels like you're in a still point and you're floating in between two timelines or in between two versions of you. But you're undergoing frequency reorganization, and it happens at every level of the body. And that's what some people will call like light symptoms. Okay. So light symptoms can be physical symptoms. And so those physical symptoms might be showing up, and I'll get to those in 1 second. So some of the physical symptoms could be showing up physically, could show up in your mental and emotional bodies or in your spiritual body. You also might be having identity disorientation. So it might feel like you don't know who you are anymore, or you can't go back, but you don't know how to go forward. You might even be feeling a little confused about what your role is in the world that you're in, the reality that you're in at the moment. You could have memory lapses. So these are old systems and the old self dissolving. And it's happening at the neurological level even, right? So you're bypassing the reptilian mind into the higher mind to be able to connect into both halves of your brain and experience this whole version of you, right? So we're not polarizing anymore. We're unifying. We're bringing in together and unifying all aspects of ourselves, the left and the right hemisphere, creating one brain where we're able to have creative executive thoughts that are more organized, right? So Okay, so let's talk about some of these other changes. I won't go through all of them because this has gotten a lot longer than I intended, but you're going to be having some neural system rewiring. So I've had so many clients that are experiencing this buzzing in the feet and the legs, at the top of the head, constant tinnitus, which I actually have buzzing in my ears. It goes off, on, and up and down all the time, different tones. You could be having energy sweeps up and down the spine. It could be tingling, or it could be sudden pinpricks. You could have it at the back of the head or the shoulder blades. You might have light sensitivity or a declining vision that is sudden in onset. And you could also have like spatial distortion, where when you're moving through a room, it feels like you don't know how to walk through. That's the parietals, which are in the back of the head with the occipitals. And a lot of that energy in the back of the head, which is where your cerebellum is and the reptilian brain, is being reorganized. So it's impacting that back of the head. Also, the parietals connects to the vestibular vein in the right ear, and the left ear is sympathetic, and the right is parasympathetic. And it is balancing the autonomic nervous system. So you're going to have some different energies that are happening there. Emotional and energetic feelings. You could be feeling intense feelings about something that happened and you don't even know what it is. It's from a past life. It's something that is leaving the body somatically so that it can leave you creating into form again with it, because we do that whether we know it or not. It could be from a past life, or it could be ancestral or lineage. You could also have the same kind of surges of grief or anger that aren't triggered by something that's happening in your life right now. It could be something that you don't even know what it is. Like, why am I so angry today? And it's because you are clearing out something that transpired in another timeline, in another reality, or parallel reality, or ancestral situation. You also are collapsing and closing the book of karma with family karma, so that you can release your lineage from bondage of contracts, oaths, agreements, vows, promises that were created eons ago in order to stay safe, because you did not know that you were this amazing God, goddess in form, right? So because we didn't know, we experienced all kinds of things, right? So all of those parts of us need to find their way back to our center column of light, and also need to be released from you to go back to wherever they came from. So we're clearing and closing that that karmic book of life, and opening a new book, the book of creation, where you become the co-creator of your reality. So what was this last thing? So oversoul symptoms. So these are your spiritual quantum sensations that you may be experiencing, which could be vivid dreams. You could be seeing different energies or flashes of light. You could start seeing aura around trees or animals or people. You might get new spirit guides. You might be communicating with people who have crossed over. They may start talking with you in your dreams. You could start speaking light language. You could have itchy palms, which is how light language started for me 20 years ago. Started first as wanting to move my hands, and then it evolved into light language. You might have a sudden feeling that something is going to happen, or you might feel it in your body as if something happened and it hasn't happened yet. So there's others. You can go back and look at those. I am doing a pick a portal reading, which will encompass how this energy is impacting you personally. So you can pick a portal 1, 2, or 3, and it will give you your personal energies for what might be showing up for you over the next 30 days. So I'm going to complete that and link it in this video. And if you have any desire to contact me, either for any courses or personal sessions, or just to say hello, This QR code will allow you to find me anywhere. So all the links are there. And I hope you have an amazing and wonderful rest of this week. It's going to be very topsy-turvy. Give yourself plenty of space. You know, and also I want to just say, remember that there are miracles, because I see some amazing things that are going to be coming in over the next couple of weeks. Yes, there's going to be some big upsets, some big stories that are going to break, that are going to really push you to your limits of belief and um, and staying in a place of coherent frequencies so that you can maintain your high vibration. So there is going to be plenty of that. There's no question about it. However, there will also be some amazing things coming together, especially if you are wanting to bring to light what the Galactic Federation is asking us to do, right? Creating these new spiritual centers, creating new businesses, and sharing your story, your message, your gifts, your light with the world. There's going to be a lot more of that, and it will feel like miracles. I'm telling you, I see it. Anyway, so sending you all the love, and I will talk with you guys again.